Wise words, gentlemen, wise words. Let's go to the magic wall and see if we can see Nairobi from here. No.
Oh, my goodness.
David Mutinda says, Jeff, ask Senator Mutula Jr., as the party official, why is the party changing its colors instead of changing its leadership structure that has resulted to more good candidates losing positions in grounds like Ngu Masumba Ward?
I mean,
why are you changing color? I mean, what's the point of changing colors?
I mean, we are allowed. It's rebranding.
Is it same old wine in new bottles?
No, it's new wine in new wine skin. I mean, we have got to deal with aesthetics. I mean, everybody changes color. You change your suit. You were not wearing blue yesterday, so we want to change color. Maybe it's going to be more attractive.
All the best.
We are colorful people, but
yeah. We have to give you that.
Hard,
Kamba colors.
Yeah.
Moon Awidi says Senator Sakaja and Kilonzo are still too young to go for the 2-term gubernatorial seat. They should stay in the Senate and raise the debating level higher.
It's a good opinion.
It's an opinion, but I'll tell him 1 Timothy 4:12. Let no one look down upon you because you're young, but set an example. Yeah, and there's a power in setting examples. This country has been transformed by leaders when they're very young.
Absolutely.
Look at Tom Mboya. You know, in his 20s.
Yeah.
Ken Matiba.
You know.
Look at Governor Mandago. He's going to retire. He's not 50.
Yeah.
Governor
He's not 50 yet.
No, Tall goes the same.
And he's done an amazing job. Governor Mandago.
Yeah.
I mean, Governor Hassan Joe is not 50 yet.
He's not 50 yet.
Yeah.
And also our Formula 1 guy.
In fact,
Sorry.
He's 50. I mean, in strict terms, therefore, I'm late. Yes. Sakaja is still early. I'm late.
Yeah.
In the game.
So we are old then. Our generation.
You guys. Yeah.
We're fossils.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Jeff, do you know in the 2009 census, I've not analyzed this one very good.
Go on.
Kenyans above 50, it's only 9% of Kenyans are above the age of 50. 9. You guys should know each other.
By name.
You should be in our WhatsApp group.
Yeah. The same WhatsApp.
But I was telling you about Jimmy Kariuki earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, we were in the same class.
Yeah.
He and I were in the same class.
Oh, my.
Yeah, back then we used to be alphabetical.
Yeah.
So he was K.A. Kariuki, I was K.O.
Yeah.
We sat almost desk to desk.
Oh.
And those Kibaki in the... I'm sorry, I'm name dropping.
I'm telling you.
Sorry.
Dynasty.
Ibrahim Mohammed says, please ask Senators Mutula and Sakaja whether OKA has any economic model that is different from that of Baba and Ruto. An economic model, OKA. You haven't said anything about what OKA is.
No. Because they are forcing us to respond to whether you're going to give 6,000 shillings to people or whether you're going to turn the bottle upside down so that it bottoms up. We are not thinking about those things. We are thinking about making sure that the economy is running. You have money. What he's saying about money in people's pockets. How do you do that? By making sure money is circulating. Somebody said something very interesting, and I want to actually put it out there so that we see whether we can have discussions. The question of having disclosure on 1 million is actually inhibiting business. Do you know that?
It is.
It is inhibiting.
How so?
Small enterprises, because people are making 4-5 million shillings a day in informal sector.
You're making trade difficult.
And you're making trade very difficult, because then you have to disclose, and yet you're doing informal business. The people who are in Kikomba doing business are doing 5-6 million shillings business. When they get there, you have to disclose. So we've got to open up the economy so that people can make a coin here, a coin there, etc., etc. The KCB has a plan about a $10 per day per person, 1,000 shillings. Just the person who is selling potatoes in Wakulima market can make 1,000 shillings a day. The person who has a boda can make 1,000 shillings a day. That's the sort of thing you're talking about. You're not giving people. You're telling people, go to work.
You're enabling them.
Enabling them, telling them, go to work. But when you go to work, whether it's in formal sector, whether they are doing innovation, somebody is going to make money. And 1,000 shillings will be 1,000 shillings in your pocket. It's not 1,000 shillings because they're not.
So there's definitely an economic model. And
it's economic thinking.
You've heard it from Musalia Mudavadi, Kilonzo Musyoka, uchumi bora, pesa mfukoni. Money in the pocket. Reduction of debt.
Yes, reduction of debt.
So it's not trickle down, it's not bottom up, it's just some...
Do you know why we are suffering? Out of your 100 shillings in your pocket, 68 is going to pay debt. we're only playing with about 32 shillings. 32 shillings.
Out of every 100.
You must reduce it, Jeff. I know you're going to move to the next one.
Go on.
But you must, reassess how government is running.
Yes.
Every month we're spending around 205 billion paying things. Operation and maintenance alone in government, operations and maintenance is at 50 B. Why should it be 50 B? Salaries are another 53 and pensions. Yeah, you come to, of course, counties get now 26 and it will go up because of the new revenue. You add development budget, which is the smallest component, is 25 billion. In a month you're doing more than 205, but you're collecting less than 150 billion.
Good Lord.
So we're a going concern. It won't add up. So you must have that expenditure in government.
You must. We are paying about 1.6 billion on something called commitment fees.
Yeah.
On loans, which we have not taken.
1.6 B.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, for the first time, we had to borrow domestically, borrow to pay debts. So that is where is saying, look, let's reduce this debt exposure, and we'll have people having more money in their
because
pockets.
government is easily the biggest spender. If government is not spending and the money is going to pay debt, everybody's stuck.
Everybody's stuck.
Stuck in a rut.
Yes.
Carrington Mwendwa says, ask Sakaja and Mutula whether the new political deal between Mount Kenya Forum will delay plans by OKA to unveil its presidential candidate before Christmas.
There was no plan to unveil a candidate before Christmas. That was an ultimatum by certain leaders. That was their opinion. They wanted people to go knowing, which, I mean, it's good if they announce tomorrow. But I don't think the recent dalliance with the Mount Kenya Forum reduces it in any way. In any case, OKA is more than just about parties. For instance, I'm in Jubilee. Jubilee as a party officially is not in OKA. And I would wish that we talk to Jubilee, we talk to all these other parties, and see whether we can come to an agreement.
I'm glad you cleared that you're in Jubilee. I was really wondering, huh?
No, I'm in Jubilee.
Mwangi Joseph 23 says, kindly ask Senator Sakaja if he is comfortable being kicked out of Jubilee Party during the Jubilee NDC. Whoa.
For what reason? Why would I be kicked out?
Whether you're comfortable being kicked out sounds like an oxymoron.
That's an oxymoron.
It does. Zigzange, soon to be governors, please comment on Miguna's return saga.
It shouldn't be a saga. I think Miguna just needs to be let back. He's a Kenyan. Citizenship is not something that is given to you. It's something that cannot be taken away from you. And I said it even then, before, that of course there are things he did, and the oath and whatnot, and the government was against it. But I mean, bygones have been bygones. There's been a handshake. The person who was sworn in himself is with government. There's no reason why you deny him his citizenship. And this argument that Kenyans who went away and had dual citizenship before the constitution allowed it, revoked the citizenship, is not the case. The constitution says that now you can have dual citizenship, so we must not assume that they don't want Kenyan citizenship. Any Kenyan who lost their citizenship is free to come back and reinstate their citizenship, which they lost by virtue of being a dual citizen in another country.
Agree.
I represented Miguna at some point, the earlier cases that went to the Court of Appeal. The treatment of Miguna is the sort of the worst violation you have seen of a Kenyan citizen. To be told to fill in papers, books, etc., etc. If you are a citizen by birth, I mean, surely, it's by birth. You are born. Your parents are known. You don't need to fill a single sheet of paper. But what is worse is that he's possibly the only Kenyan with the most orders in his favor that have been violated by government. It's wrong. It's wrong on so many fronts.
I think
the fact that you don't disagree with what he says doesn't mean you violate his rights. We have reversed the gains of his constitution so many times, and we have allowed the executive to violate the law. And that is one of the black spots in Uhuru Kenyatta's government, violating the law for whatever, whether it's expediency, whether you think it's right or wrong, but it's wrong. What we must call it as it is. It's wrong to treat Miguna to hang around airports and embassies. What sort of message are we sending to people who would want, for example, to become citizens of this republic, or alternatively people who are just investors are watching and thinking, if a Kenyan can be treated this way, why should I go to that country? And we want to say, want to ask people to become citizens of this republic, because if you attract foreigners, people will stay and then naturalize at some point, they become investors, they give us money, etc., etc. We are the only country that chases people away.
That's why economies like the US have been built from immigrants.
Yes,
you know,
Germany allows, Australia allows people to have so many friends. You work there, in a few days you become a citizen, you get rights, you're comfortable, they treat you well, they give you tax reliefs. Here, we are busy chasing away Kenyans.
It's so difficult. Because you work permit. Anyway.
There's a guy who sent his girlfriend 100 million shillings and it became a big deal. Remember?
121.
You saw that?
Yeah, and he said, by the way, that was his pocket change. Bitcoin.
Sumaili Robert says, ask incoming Nairobi governor how he will deal with Gikomba fires. Is it from ghosts or what? You know that happens very seasonally, eh?
Too many times. And I spoke about it in the Senate the other day, that even we are tired as leaders going to make promises. And that's why I want to govern instead of just legislating. The first issue with the Gikomba is a matter of land. Somebody somewhere thinks they have the title of Gikomba. And that's why I asked the president, like a while back, to make it clear, even with the NLC, that this land is public land. That title you have, because you ban a section and you try and push, and you see a fence. You ban, you try and push people. Number two, and this for me is very painful, because I know it's not popular, but and the traders, and I've told them, they know each other. Some of them, because of insurance, when they've run out of their stock, they try and, sort of get compensation. Number three, it's accidents. There's the ladies who are my good friends who cook githeri overnight from the fire, and the wind can blow. Sometimes the street boys who they wanaota moto usiku, and there are those accidents and electrical faults. You can sort those things out. You can sort out the issue of electricity. In fact, not just in Gikomba, including Mathare. And I've said we need a social connection policy, because those people cannot afford power we give them, and that's why they have illegal connections. They should not be paying the same power bill as you pay. So we must do that social connection policy for electricity. There were these quad bikes that Governor Kidero, I think, had bought for inside Gikomba, for you to be able to move around, and have fire stations. That's why we need the fire stations right next over there. But then ultimately, and I'm glad the government has already done phase 1 of the building of Gikomba market. That will take around, I think, 1,000 traders, which is a drop in the ocean. We need to modernize that market. It's the biggest market in East and Central Africa. But that's why we need fire stations. And last time I spoke about it, because I saw these guys going to launch a fire station on grabbed land, in parklands, in high ridge. So somebody you grab land, and then you donate part of it to build a fire station. Yet all of it was supposed. And that's a matter I'm going to follow up to the end. And I hope they're listening, you guys.
Someone has a title for Gikomba.
Someone has a title.
Apparently.
Someone was given, yeah.
And somebody has a title for Mukuru.
Mukuru is even a bigger issue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, the title was given to someone. And, even if they lay claim to it, I think government should treat the people of Nairobi with dignity. The same way Waitiki land was sorted out, and Waitiki was given compensation.
That's right.
Mzee Njenga of Mukuru kwa Njenga, until the day he died, he would come to, I told him, stop coming to my office, because he was such a frail mzee. He comes there crying about Mukuru. The last time I saw him was at his home. The history of that place is well documented. And so if it's a legal dispute that these are people who own it, stop telling people to put money in your account. They're putting money in somebody's bank account. 400,000 shillings. Let government finish that matter and compensate the people of Mukuru. So we've told them, those who were evicted illegally, beyond the feeder roads, to go back until this matter is sorted out by government. They're as Kenyan citizens as anybody else.
So you said there was a Mukuru, there was a Jenga in Mukuru?
Njenga himself.
And Ruben, was that the same thing? Was there Ruben?
Ruben was named after somebody else as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Betsa Marvin says, when Senators Johnson, Sakaja and Senator Mutula are on the bench, it's always mature conversations rather than shouting at each other as others do. Wow.
We're about to search out.
I wonder, who are those others?
I don't know.
You should tell us who you bring to the bench.
In whose hands?
No, but it's lovely.
Well done, guys. Well done.